We back. It's your boy, Codehova, Fly Combinator. We're pimping Swift, and let's talk about raw values on enums. Okie dokie. So I cleaned up the code a little bit. So we got the enum of drug. We got a single constant of the least expensive drug. And we have a function that's going to decipher a drug instance. But anyways, let's talk about raw values. So we got this least expensive drug right here, right? So let's try to call out the raw value from this drug type that we've created. Raw value. And if I try to run it, it's going to tell you that this type of drug has no member of raw value. So how do we fix that? All right. So what we could do, all we have to do is just type string, semicolon string after the drug. And if we run it, it's going to tell you that it's marijuana. So let me just print it out because the value console is not so big. So boom, we have marijuana printing out. And when you write semicolon string Swift for free, it gives you basically shit like this. Pretty much gives you the string value of whatever you have in store. All right. Can't believe I created this many cases. I'm paying the price for it right now. So basically, this is what you would have had to do if Swift didn't give you this shit for free. But to make this more fun, right? So let's say that we're gonna put in the street names as the value. Okay. So we got Coke, Molly. Damn. Let's just stick with a good old hair on, all right? Trees, shrooms. This is going to be lean. So now if you run this, the raw value of least expensive drug, which is of type marijuana, which is a case of marijuana, it should return us trees. All right, there we go. So that's how we declared a raw value for the enum of drug. And it could be whatever you want. So like, let's say we're going to comment that out. Why did that save? But anyways, let me copy this one more time, paste it, uncomment it, make this a string. An int. Okay. So it could be of whatever type you want it to be. So let's just make it an int. And if we say print out the least expensive drug's raw value, it's going to give us 3 because it's going to, just like it gave us for free the string of the type that you created if you didn't create this, right? Without this, the raw value, if it's a string, is just going to be the string of cocaine itself, all right? So when it's an int, it starts from 0 indexing. It's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. That's why marijuana is number 3. But who's going to remember that? I don't know. You might. But when it's something like this, it's definitely, you should consider to just name it the string so that whenever you do create an instance, which I'm going to show you right now, it makes sense. Because let's say we wanted to create that purple shit. And what we're going to do is we're going to have drug, and we're going to initialize an instance of this drug enum type by saying raw value, and this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Raw value 5. So we're going to run that. Okay? And as you see, we have prometh because the raw value, let us comment that out and bring this back into the game. Okay? And the raw value on this is going to be lean. So let's say we're going to give it lean. Run that. And we're still prometh, but let me tell you the issue. This is what you call a failable initializer. Because when this works, like in the case that we have right now, okay, prometh does come out. Prometh is right here. All right. So, but if we do the alt click, okay, it's not telling you what's up. That's not good. But let's print it out. Print that purple shit. See, what we get here is an optional. That's a failable initializer. So let's do a if let statement. If let that purple shit is a real value of drug, I want you to print that purple shit. Else, print the initializer for drug has failed. There is no drug by the name you have set in the raw value initializer. That's long. But anyways, if we run it, we see that Prometh shoots out. But what if we said serve? Alright? We're going to see the failing else, which is the initializer for drug has failed. There is no drug by the name you have set in the raw value initializer. So that's how we could create a enum from a string. You could also create it from an int if this drug type was of type int. All right. So what else we could do? Let's talk about how you don't. If we were dealing with a drug, never mind. Let's create a new class, and I mean not a new class, but a new enum, and we're gonna call that enum $. All right, and it's gonna be of a type int. So we got case of what is it? George Washington. Case of Grant. Case of Franklin. Damn, what else is Andrew Jackson? All right, case Jackson. So we got 1, 5. So we need Lincoln. Case Lincoln. I think that's what we're working with. So we got 1, 5, 50. So anyways, we got these values. But this, if we make this of type int, we see that $.Washington, $.Lincoln, $.Grant, $.Frank, $.Jackson. There's got to be a Hamilton. All right, $.Hamilton. So if we got that, we're gonna see. Oops. We get the right types, but what we want to do is we want to print out the raw value. You see, that's a problem. That's a problem because imagine we had a code and we're like, yo, I gave you 50 pieces of Grant. Tell me how much money I have. So Grant is what? The third case. So we're going to have 2. Did I say 50? So that means I just have $100. But we know that Grant is much, much more than that. So this is an enum with a raw type that is unordered. So this is how we're going to be able to rock with it. So Washington's are 1, Lincoln's are 5, Grant's, I think that Grant's a 50, right? Hamilton is a 10, Jackson is a 20, Franklin is 100. All right. So now if we run this, see, we now have our proper values associated with our enum raw types. Okay. So that's enums, man. That's the enums with raw values. And I really don't think I have anything more to tell you about it. So it's your boy, Codehova, Fly Combinator. We pimpin' Swift. Come so far. And good job, yo. So if you have any questions, leave comments down below. Let's get it.